What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Concrete Edge right here on Deco-Crete TV. My name's Jeff, and on today's show we have 5 quick tips to help you minimize the damage to your concrete in the wintertime, so stay tuned and you're going to learn all of it. So we all know that winter weather can be tough on your concrete, and this can be a tricky thing to deal with, and I mean there is certainly no one-size-fits-all answer to this. And the biggest thing is you just need to understand what is best for the concrete and the risks that you take when dealing with snow and ice. I mean, concrete mixes that are designed for exterior concrete and freeze-thaw environments, I mean, they actually hold up just fine to winter weather as long as they're sealed. I mean, most of that damage isn't really old man winter's fault. It's when we go to melt the ice or plow the snow that the problems really seem to start. So here are 5 tips that you can do to take care of your concrete to keep it looking its best for this winter. So number 1 is keep your concrete sealed. I mean, this is the biggest thing you can do to guard from wintertime damage. Now, this doesn't mean that you should seal your concrete every single year. And when we say keep your concrete sealed, we're saying that as in seal it when it needs it. Now, most concrete sealers are going to last 4 or 5 years. And on stamped concrete, this kind of happens naturally because people just want to keep their patios looking as good as they could, and the sealer is what does that for them. On driveways, however, though, it can be really easy to forget about this. So just keep an eye on it, and if you notice that water is soaking into it really fast, I mean, it's probably time to seal it. I mean, the point is that if that water can't get into the concrete, then it can't freeze in the concrete. And so please check out this episode right here of Technique of the Week, and Jason is going to show you guys a quick way to see if your concrete needs sealed before winter or not. So number 2 is to use discretion when melting ice, and what I mean by that is only melt the ice that needs to be melted and only use what you have to do so. I mean, be smart about it, think about what you're doing and the risk that you're taking. Don't just go throwing that ice melt all over the place. For types of ice melt, I mean, rock salt is definitely the highest risk product out there, so I would try to avoid that whenever possible, but even the safer ones can still cause some damage, and you just have to use common sense. And if at all possible, wash that driveway down the first chance you get after using a product like that, or I mean, for that matter, even just after a snowstorm. I mean, even if you didn't put any ice melt on your concrete, it can still find its way there just by dripping off your car on your driveway. Number 3 would be use sand or kitty litter for traction instead of melting the ice. Now, I mean, it's not going to be quite as effective, but it won't damage your concrete at all. This is where you do need to treat driveways and sidewalks a little different than patios or back porches or, I mean, pretty much anything else. I mean, this kind of goes back to what we were talking about in the last section, is just only melt the ice that needs to be melted and don't worry about the rest. I mean, if you do need to use that backyard patio in the wintertime, I mean, just try everything you can to be able to get around on that with sand or kitty litter instead of melting the ice. And if you can just leave it alone and do nothing to it, then that's even better yet, because that is what's going to be best for your concrete. Number 4 would be use plastic snow shovels on stamped concrete. I mean, metal snow shovels are going to scratch and gouge the surface of your concrete, which is never good, but it's just going to be way more noticeable on stamped concrete. And definitely no excessive force to chip away at ice like spud bars or ice picks or anything like that. And if you have a stamped concrete driveway, I mean, maybe check with your snow removal company to see if they have a brush attachment instead of a plow blade. I mean, not very many of them do, but it never hurts to check. And this is part of why we just really don't promote stamped concrete driveways if you live in the northern part of the country. Now, I know what you're probably saying right now, plastic snow shovels kind of suck. And well, I definitely do agree with that, and that's why we've always liked these little guys right here. I mean, they are made of plastic, they won't damage your concrete, but they're nice and rigid, and it has a nice solid handle here. Now, you might not find these at your local hardware store, but they do sell them over there at Deco-Crete, so just click the link right down in the description if you guys need one of these. So number 5 is to treat newer concrete differently than older concrete. I mean, that first winter that your concrete goes through is going to be its most vulnerable. And, you know, as that concrete gets older, it will be able to handle more abuse, including ice melts. But if possible, I just wouldn't use any kind of ice melt at all for that first winter. So to finish things up here, I just wanted to hit the main points one more time. And we're going to start with just let the snow and ice melt on its own whenever you can. I mean, it is not going to hurt that concrete as long as it's sealed. Now, if you do need to melt the ice, just be careful with what type of ice melt you use and use the absolute minimum of it. Now, we did put out a video last month that goes a lot more in-depth on ice melt products, so just check that video out as well if you're looking to learn more about that part of it. And just be extra cautious on your concrete if it was just poured this year. I mean, it might be hard enough to drive on, but it is still pretty vulnerable to ice melt products. Well guys, that's pretty much it for this week's show. I mean, hopefully this video helped you guys get around safely on your concrete this winter without causing any major damage. We would like to say thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch these videos. I mean, we just can't even describe how much it means, all the support that you guys show to the channel by tuning in every week, always hitting those little buttons down there. They're free of charge. Like, share, subscribe if you're not already. Please leave us a comment if we missed anything or if you have any questions about wintertime care for your concrete. And if you guys are already subscribed, just don't forget about that little bell icon down there so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. And honestly, it really does help our channel out. So from all of us here at Deco-Crete TV, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.